xAI just revealed Grok 4, and it's not only claiming to be the world's most advanced AI, it's actually proving it with benchmark numbers no human has ever come close to. In this video, I'll walk you through what makes Grok 4 so different from its insane 26.9% score on humanity's last exam to the way it outperforms OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic models across key tests. We'll break down what those results mean, how the tool integrations change everything, the cost, and, most importantly, how you can start using it right now. Most people assume that when a new AI model is released, its benchmark scores are only slightly better than the last version. A few percentage points here, a small bump there. But Grok 4 is a rare case where the difference isn't incremental. It's a step change so large it forces you to reevaluate what these models are capable of. One test in particular made this clear in a way numbers alone usually can't. It's called Humanity's Last Exam, and it's built to push even the sharpest minds to their limit. This is not a collection of standard training set questions or recycled test problems. It's a carefully curated set of challenges that span the outer edges of human knowledge. Questions from advanced physics, abstract mathematics, molecular biology, software architecture, formal logic, historical linguistics, and more. The creators designed it for the sole purpose of measuring abilities where even seasoned experts tend to fail. On this scale, a high-achieving human manages around 5% correct. That's not because they lack talent, but because the questions demand precise reasoning in domains they may not have even seen before. In that context, Grok 4 scoring 26.9% on the text-only version is the kind of result many researchers would dismiss as unattainable, at least without specialized datasets or heavy preprocessing. Yet these were raw runs. No internet searches, no external tools, just the base model reasoning its way through problems that most people can't even parse on a first read. That alone would be impressive. But what makes it more striking is that Grok 4's architecture suggests a new approach to reasoning. The output patterns hint at a multi-stage pipeline, something that doesn't just generate answers in one pass, but evaluates intermediate steps, restructures them, and checks against internal consistency before deciding on a final response. That's already a leap beyond the streamlined one-shot predictions that characterized earlier systems. To see if that performance holds across different kinds of reasoning, you can look at how it did on other benchmarks. GPQA evaluates graduate-level physics and quantitative analysis. LiveCodeBench measures coding and debugging ability in live environments where the system must reason about execution results. Then there's Amy, which targets a highly niche field, so specialized that most human experts would max out well below a perfect score. Grok 4 not only handled Amy, it hit 100%. That 100% is more than a number. It means that in at least one expert-level challenge set, there's no meaningful distinction left between Grok 4 and an ideal performer. And while one benchmark doesn't define the whole landscape, it's a strong signal. In narrow, high-skill domains, this system may already be operating at a level where there are no human peers to compare with. And remember, all this is still without tool integration. No external calculators, no live code execution, no retrieval databases in the background. When you imagine adding those capabilities, the ability to spin off processes that run simulations, crawl new data, or execute scripts in real time, you start to realize the current numbers might not represent its ceiling at all. In fact, what we've seen so far could turn out to be the baseline that Grok 4 surpasses by an even greater margin once those systems are activated. That's why the benchmarks are only half the story. The other half is what happens when you stop thinking of the model as a closed box and start letting it interact with specialized tools. That's where the whole conversation shifts from how smart is this model to what can it actually achieve when no longer working alone. When Grok 4 operates with integrated tools, its capabilities change in ways that go beyond simple benchmark gains. This is where Grok Heavy comes in, the $300 per month or $3,000 annually tier that unlocks tool calling and agentic reasoning. These features allow the system to move past purely internal reasoning and dynamically call on external resources mid-task. For developers, the opening question isn't just how much better it scores, but how differently it approaches problems once it can access these extensions. In tool-free mode, Grok 4 resolves each query within its own model weights. Grok Heavy, by contrast, can break complex tasks into steps, deciding in real time which parts to handle itself and which to delegate to a search engine, live code interpreter, or domain-specific simulator. This shift means it can augment reasoning with verifiable data and live results instead of relying solely on prediction. The result tends to be a reduction in hallucinations and improved handling of edge cases. For example, in a typical tool-enabled session, you might be debugging a back-end service that fails intermittently. In base mode, Grok could propose likely causes and code fixes based on its training data. In Grok Heavy mode, it might spin up a test environment, capture live error logs, cross-reference them against internal documentation, search for specific error signatures, and run candidate patches until it validates a fix, all within a single continuous session. While that's an illustrative scenario rather than a documented demo, it reflects the kind of iterative, experiment-driven reasoning that tool integration makes possible. The way tool calls work is straightforward. When Grok detects a step outside its optimal reasoning scope, it sends a structured request to an external system, waits for the output, then incorporates that data back into the original reasoning process. This process happens transparently to the user, but carries a compute cost. More tool calls mean more processing on both the model's side and the external systems, which directly ties into pricing. Here's where the tiers matter. Super Grok, the higher performance standard mode without tool calls, is $30 per month. Grok Heavy, the tool-enabled tier capable of calling agents, is $300 per month or $3,000 annually. You can also try Grok through an X Premium account, typically in the $8 to $10 per month range, or via grok.com. Important, Grok 4 always runs as a reasoning model. There's no lightweight, non-reasoning variant. That means complex queries will generally take longer to generate and will draw more compute than faster, non-reasoning LLMs. From a value perspective, the decision point is practical. If Grok Heavy can shave hours off debugging, accelerate a product cycle, or handle specialized analysis work more effectively than your current tools, the premium can make economic sense. If your use cases are lighter or exploratory, Super Grok or the lower-cost trial access points are more sensible starting places. Beyond tools, xAI has demoed an upgraded voice mode that, in their demonstration, responded more quickly and naturally than OpenAI's voice offering. In early impressions, it felt snappier and less prone to interrupting than many competitors, promising, though it will need more real-world testing to validate performance outside vendor demos. Looking ahead, xAI's roadmap includes a coding-focused model expected in the next few weeks, a multimodal agent in the fall capable of working across text, images, and video, and a video generation system in development using roughly 100,000 GB 200 GPUs. Each of these is designed to expand the range of tasks Grok can tackle. Taken together, these capabilities point to a model that is not just competing on raw intelligence, but on breadth of function and integration. That combination has implications for how teams choose and deploy AI, and for how quickly it can surpass human experts in specialized domains. On many narrow, benchmarked tasks, Grok 4 already outperforms average human performance, and with tool integrations, it can handle even more complex or specialized work. The best way to understand its impact is to try it in your own environment and compare results directly. Start with trial access through X Premium or Grok.com to get a feel for its behavior. Then run a few of your common coding or analysis tasks on Super Grok $30 to check speed and accuracy. If you see clear gains, move up to Grok Heavy for full end-to-end automation. What coding bug or automation would you test first? Share one in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.